All right, with this one, it's kind of hard to know whether to integrate with respect to x or with respect to y. But if you look right here, we have a y squared, which means we're going to have a parabola that's going to look something like this. So if I have a parabola that looks like this, it's going to be easier to integrate with respect to y, not with respect to x. So I am going to erase this really quick. And in order to integrate with respect to y, I need to solve for x so I can get a function of y. So if I do that here, I'm going to get negative 4x equals negative y squared plus 4. And then I'm going to divide by negative 4, so I get x equals 1/4 y squared minus 1. And on this side, I'm going to get 4x equals y plus 16. So x equals 1/4 y plus 4. So if I graph these, kind of a rough graph, this is going to be, it's supposedly down 1, but remember we're doing it with respect to y, so it's going to be down 1 on the x thing. It's weird. So it's going to be here, and it's going to look something like this. And then this one right here, instead of a y-intercept, it's going to be an x-intercept. So that's going to be here. And then instead of a rise over run, this is going to be run over rise since we solved it with respect to y. So this is actually going to be over 1 up 4. And I don't know where 4 is, so we're just going to roughly just draw this. So it's going to look like this. And what we're trying to find is we're trying to find this area right here. Now the problem is I need to know exactly where these intercepts are. And if you want to know where two functions cross, what you're going to do is you're going to set them equal to each other. So I end up getting 1/4 y squared minus 1 equals 1/4 y plus 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so there's no fractions. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. So that gives me y squared minus 4 equals y plus 16. Now I'm going to subtract 16 and subtract y to both sides, so I get y squared minus y minus 20 equals 0. And if I factor this, you end up getting y minus 5 and y plus 4. And so you end up getting y equals 5 or negative 4. So this means that we are going to integrate this function to get the actual area. We're going to integrate. Now I'm going to erase this so we can do a little bit with this. So y negative 4, so negative 4 is my lower bound, so I am going to integrate from negative 4 to 5 of my upper function. Now remember we're doing it with respect to y, so my upper function is going to be this one right here. So that's going to be my linear function, so that's going to be this one right here. So it's going to be 1/4 y plus 4. And then I'm going to subtract that from my lower function, which is going to be 1/4 y squared minus 1. And then we're going to do that with respect to y. Now I'm going to let you do the integration.